Okay, here we are again. And okay, let's see if everything is working. I think we have sound. I was a bit late today, and the idea is for today craziness with the Predator-2 arpeggiator. And well, this is not essentially a arpeggiator thing. And what I also did is I moved my microphone, so it's a bit further away from me, but still, when I play, you hear that? It's still having this annoying noise. So I'm checking here on the chat room. Sorry, let's make something visible for you guys. So I keep this one always on top. So you see Predator, let me see. And today I'm trying to do it here on the computer. I can see the keyboard is visible. Predator-2 is also visible. Yeah, that's looking good. You can see me. And I have a bit of a delay inside the microphone for some reason, but let me know if my voice is loud enough compared to the music, because it's a bit further away currently. So I'm gonna say hello in the chat. Hello, everybody. Okay, not. So here we go. Okay, looks good and sounds okay. Great. So I would say let's start. Let me first tell a bit about the plans we have. We have, of course, last week we had the release of the Punch 2 with the new sounds, the new features. And this week I had the plan to catch up in making more tutorials, but we also will have a smaller bundle end of this month. So we have the Explorer 6 bundle, but we also will have 3 smaller bundles with a certain focus. So I was making some video for this and a demo, and if people own, for instance, Predator-2, they can upgrade to the Explorer 6, which is of course always great, but also to the smaller bundles. So it's things which is going to be released at the end of this month. And the other thing which is cool to mention is that XY Transfer is of course a new plugin in our Explorer 6 and as a separate plugin. But let me show you. If I press here now F3 in, here we go. Here it's the mixer. Here you can see my voice. Okay, and if I open XY Transfer, one of the new things we are gonna get, guys, is we have a filter, comp filter, shaper room, granular. So we will have granular FX in XY Transfer. When we will release this, it's not sure yet, but it's gonna be very cool. I need to experiment with that. You can see you can address also the XY to it. And I'm not sure how it would work because this is still the beta, but granular will be inside XY Transfer very soon. So I think that's good news, isn't it? So let me check on the microphone, and here you see my microphone. Here it comes in. I could add, for instance, ARP reverb. And that's, by the way, also the case that this month we have the FX months. I did not send out the newsletter, but next week we will have a live stream about the FX. So here we have ARP reverb. So big haul. Bye. Okay, so now I'm dry again. So let's see if this works with XY Transfer. Maybe it will this guy. Okay. Okay, let's go to the default preset. So you have in total, you see this is a mix, you have a total 3 FX. And so each FX has its own mix, wet, dry There's not a central one, and we had with RP delay a central one, which only caused confusing by users. So I'm having now XY transfer, and let's see how that goes with grains. Okay, let's bring back the volume a bit to see. I'm not sure how this will work. Okay, now have grains. Okay, and see how this changes the sound. Okay, let's go to the mix. All the grains.
So, this is Darth Vader talking to you. Cool, isn't it? Yeah, this is his grains. So I could record this. Okay, go to record, then video, and then replay. Yeah, this is cool, guys, isn't it? Yeah. So, okay, let's go down. Here we have, so it's automated. I go to live, and then I can change it here. So you have a tuning, but also length. So this is spacey, isn't it? Okay. So, oh, now I'm pitch up, pitch down. So yeah, it's, I need to experiment a bit more with it and
See how things go.
yeah, and the cool thing, you can go from there to here, to the other. Have a room. Let's see. Then I have a room to the sound. And you get really weird odd stuff.
Okay, so now I do bypass, and then my voice should be normal again. So cool, isn't it? So that was a little bit of XY transfer, which will get this granular stuff. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, I'm using helium. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I made a small demo song which I'm be using now also during the live stream. You see, I placed here a few things. So for instance, this nice sound, isn't it? It's one of the older presets. If I go to the bank manager, it's from this bank, all sound effects, this one, and noise down. But what I changed to it is I simply put in the FX a stereo delay on it. If I bypass, it's not as cool when there is a delay on it. So now it's with delay. Okay, let's play it again without delay. Bypass. So this is dry, and then with the stereo delay really gets it wide. And this is a nice kind of cymbal sound, only it's very often used in dance. Of course, Predator-2 is perfect for many styles of music. You can see many presets. These are the original ones from the original Predators, but they are all on high quality, and because we improved the reverb code, it's all sounding even better than the version 1. And that one was already very good. So this is FX is used, and then let's go to another track. I go to the bass, which is also Predator-2. And okay, let me see. I did open it. Here it is. No, that's not that one. I need to open the track, of course. Here I need to open. Here's this bass. Bass Desert. It's from the old basses. And you see the bank number starts with number 1. So it's also originally a bass from the Predator 1.6. And you see no effects are used, and pure sound, just like a bit like a bass from a yeah, what I would say, maybe a Roland bass. So and in the mix it's cool. So this is a kick, which is from raw kick, but then a more gentle EDM kick. This is from raw. So I combined a few things. Oh, no, this was raw kick. Raw is this one, of course. That's also using the sequencer. And then there is this Predator sound, which is using the XY pad. Oh no, that's another one. This. You see this one here, this little mountain, which is the modulation wheel. So if I would play this sound, so the modulation wheel in this preset is the second high pass filter here, and if you go to the modulation matrix, you can see that the modulation wheel is addressed to the high pass frequency. And if you use that while playing the track, you can really make some dynamic changes while the track is playing. So let's play this again, and then you can hear it. And this is the other sound, which is essentially a pad sound, but the XY is controlling the filter, only a tiny bit, but mainly the volume. So the movement here, which is tempo bass, you can see it here, it's tempo synced to half a bar. And you get this, with this you get, because it's only volume, you get a kind of how you call it again? Yeah, sidechain. No, yeah, I see now. It's a sidechain. No, it's not sidechain. It's done by using this pad. You also can change it. So I played a few notes. So when I close it, I can play it solo. Okay, let's play it solo. And now add the kick to it. Okay, here's the raw kick. But it makes most sense. It's a bit arrhythmically, but it totally makes a rhythm thing if you combine it with this bass. Hi-hat. And of course you can add it, so that's the cool thing. If I go back to this preset, oh, that's the other one, sorry. Here it is, this one. The mono mode, you can also change the mode. In poly mode, it responds different. Each time it starts triggering if it hits the note, and each note starts its own movement. So let's see how that works. Or you can say free mode, and with free mode it keeps on moving. That's also what you see. And if you then start on the first beat of the bar, so down here you see 17, the timing should be very nice. Let's see how that works. So free mode is one movement which continues, but when I hit start with the host sequencer, it starts at 0. But then it keeps on moving. So this one would be even better than the other one. The phaser on it, and there's no delay. I can see why I didn't put, it's too much movement. Okay, let's start again. So you see the amount of modulation you can see here. I put it a bit softer. And this, of course, is the Y movement. The Y movement is up, down. So the volume goes up, down, but in this way. So by just tweaking, and what you also can do, of course, these are in total 8 points. If you say, that's too complex for me, just make it 4 points. Let's see. Time quantize, which is also chops, but I could also use space quantize. Space one, let's see. Then it chops again, so then it chops again, so that's a double chopping. So you have some options here. So this is time quantized, which means that you have 4 things, that this movement also chops it in 16 pieces, so it's a bit more stuttering. But of course you need to check this out. It's a space quantize. Okay, I need to start, of course. Then it moves in this grid. And if it's really time-based, that's sometimes a bit more handy. And if you want to have more points, you simply take more points. So it's like an LFO, but a very dynamic one. But what you have to keep in mind if you start with using Predator, that you know that the modes, free mode means that it's one movement which continues, keeps on moving. That's also what you see here. And then if you start on the first beat, it's still very timed, because you set it here to half bar, so you could say to 1 bar. So the movement is 1 bar. And if you start at the first beat, it's still very precise. So although the movement keeps on continuously, it's still, you can make a rhythm tempo thing. With mono, each time you hit a note, it starts again. So I'm playing chords now, but each time the first note you hit in the chords, then it resets on 0. So let's play that. And then it's wise to quantize the notes, because I see what I hear now in this mono mode, it's that a bit off in timing. And this well could be, if I see here the notes, I'm not sure if I did quantize them. So so here they are. Maybe I should quantize them. Okay, yeah, I see them moving. So now it's quantized. Let's see what happens. Yeah, it's better, but I think I have bar tempo a bit faster is better. So each time the note hits, it's down here. Here are the notes. Here you see them. Each time the note hits, okay, it starts playing. So here they are. And then there is this poly mode, which means that each note has its own starting point. But if it's quantized and you have 3 notes, all 3 start at the same time, of course. Yeah, then you need... phaser. Maybe a mono delay would work. Okay, so we keep that at a bit. So it's yeah, it's different than a transgate. This is yeah, you need to experiment, but keep that in mind that there are different modes. You can sync it to one bound bar. You can change the amount of points. You can even make it 128, which is of course a lot of, but yeah, if you really make a sort of timing thing, it's best to have less points. And then you have the Y movement. You can this for the Y movement, and you can things have for the X movement. So yeah, it's a very versatile device, this XY transfer. If you get your head around it a bit, it's very interesting. And there are some presets which I called Flumi Sidepad, which you could try out. But then also important that you tweak them so that it fits nice. In this case, it fits nice again. So I'm gonna close it and then put off the solo everywhere, and then we back now with everything. Okay, so I'm checking now the yeah, the bass from Predator's brilliant. And yeah, it's a bit like a H101 bass, although the original 808 was not that strong in terms of bass if you compare that with a Minimoog, which has a bit fuller lower end. But this is a very tight bass, correctly. And what this also says, so let me see if we go back to this bass. You see one oscillator used, guys, Spectrum 39. Talking about having 20 oscillators active. This is one oscillator, which is perfect for a bass sound. And it has a bit of sub-oscillator behind it. And then you have a good sound. It's totally dry. So, and that's also with creating music. Sometimes you need to have things which are very simple, basic. Because if you have only very complex things, it will not stand out anymore. So, so this is bass. Take this bass again next to this pad sound. This pad sound is then very wide and stereo. So here you also hear that because this bass is no FX in the middle, basic, and the other sound, which is far more complex, gets more complex because the other sound is more simple. Okay. So you see, with one synthesizer you can make a lot of noise. And of course, Predator-2 is a workhorse, especially because of the amount of presets. So if you are any style, there's so much inside of it, and of course it's a bit more complex to program than, for instance, BIT or Vecto or Go2, but you also can do other things. So each thing has its spot. It's compared like having a Jupiter 8 and a SH101, two great synthesizers, but you do different things with it. So okay, so I'm checking here the chat room. And I was talking about the crazy. For some reason I choose 2 tracks. How did I do that? Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's new to me, guys. I play one note and I get a lot of other synthesizers. How did I get this? That's unbelievable. Yeah, I don't know how this could. Normally, if you want to have sounds twice sounding together, you do it like this. You select twice track. Oh, this is spooky. Okay. Maybe this helps. Okay, guys, this is spooky. How could this happen? For some reason, I did something which makes when I hit the note that everything plays. What is inside this one? Okay. Now, this is weird, isn't it? Okay. So here we have a sound effects. I'm just checking how this one is made, by the way. Here are the multi-envelopes. LFO. I'm just curious about this preset, how it was done. Offset, LFO speed. Oh, the LFO speed. Okay, LFO1 speed and LFO1. Let's go to LFO1, which is in this section. LFO1 modulates the semitone of oscillator 1. Aha, now I can recall again. So that's a little trick what I can show you. So double click. So the envelope controls the speed of the LFO. But if you want to have the LFO on a higher speed than default, you can use offset and boost the speed of the LFO. So let's boost it. Yeah, bad Mike. My door is completely in the soup. Yes. So yeah, I wanted to talk about the sequencer today. So I'm not sure. I'm already talking for 1/2 an hour. If you have a question, guys, just let me know. Today was about is about the crazy sequencer and what you can do. So I opened again Predator. I go to the default bank, and here we go down, and in every bank that starts with 0, so for 099 examples, is for instance Predator-2 presets, and below that you see 101 introduction, which is the original Predator 1.6, and then you get all the Predator sounds, and there are great stuff inside of it. So really, you should check that out. So let's go here. I picked the default preset. Where is it? There it is. sinus. So the arpeggiator, I go to a saw waveform. You see, you have the play mode, and in play mode you can say arpeggiator, or you can go to the arpeggiator itself and you say active. And then of course it has here the default things going on. And then it plays. Vangelis. Albedo. See, very basic sequence. So even a basic sequence can be cool. So now, adding the envelope. So it's the case that it's an arpeggiator. So if I play here a chord, so I move the microphone and the bumping on the keyboard is even worse. Strange, isn't it? But you can also use another mode, and the other modes are here. Chord mode is that you doesn't play the arpeggiator but triggers the. And of course we have sequence, and that is a traditional sequencer. So like a analog style sequence. And then if you have key entry, of course keep C as a root key, you can play. And you see the notes popping up. I put off key entry. And you have a sequence. And of course if you play sequence, it's always in a certain keys, major, minor. So I could fit it in, but I have too much other noise. I put a bit of the other noise off so that we can have a bit more focus on this one. And then we have here the tie. Also here, let's see, good slide, but then I need to open the slide. Hear that? So now it's like a and then we have here the other modes. It's time mode normal, which is this one, and special is that it's time node, but it still changes from node. Cool, isn't it? So this is normal. Time node. Then we have special. And then we have also toggle. And then it toggles between these two. So how cool is it that, isn't it? Well, of course, I need to start on the right moment. Mono delay. Use the modulation wheel for opening the filter. So and then we have the case that we also have ARP A and ARP B. So I can select now in playing ARP B, and of course this one is the same. It's empty again. So we have command. So what we can do here is command copy ARP A to B. And then I go go RB, and make a little difference here. So this is B. So okay. So ARP A. So you see this one goes on now because this one is now editing. So ARP A, then this goes on. And then I can say join. And then I place A and B. Down here you see displayed because this is added. So this is, now I can still edit ARP A, but this is ARP A playing, ARP B playing. So essentially with this toggle mode, you then have essentially 4 sequences playing. So because if I go back to ARP A, it's toggle mode 1, which means it first plays the tie note and then normal. And in toggle 2, by the way, you toggle again the first it plays special and then normal, or normal special. I think toggle 1 is first normal. Yeah, and then special. So toggle 1 is first normal play, special play, and toggle 2 is first special and then normal. So I have ARP A with toggle 1, and I can go to ARP B. Okay, select it. Playing, edit, ARP B. Also toggle 1, or I could say that one toggle 2. And if you have the playing joined, yeah, you have essentially 4 in total, not 16 plus 16, and again 16 plus 16, 32, 64 steps. So you see a lot of features. I mean, it's chords. Yeah, definitely. So if I go here and I say play chord, 2 chords, then, oh no, let's play 3. Okay, then the first is the root key. Then I need to detune it. I could say make that a 7. And I could make the other one an octave. Let's see what happens. Let me see. Aha, this works inside the sequence mode, not that it's this mode, it's because monophonic. I think it's because of the fact that's a monophonic sequence, and then you don't have a chord. So let's see what happens if you take a normal mode. Yeah, then it plays the chord after each other. So, okay, let's play chord mode. So then you need, if you want to really play the chords in chords, you need to have chord mode, and then you set the chord. Yeah, so now it plays the melody in chords, so in the chord mode. Yeah, this is cool. Maybe I should save this one because I mentioned in the info section that I would save the preset. So save preset at harp chord minor. Okay, I saved this preset, so we have, it's nice. With Predator, you always the option go wild. Throw a phaser on it. So this preset is done with chords. So when I put off the chord again and go back to ARP and the sequencer mode, this is the traditional sequencer mode. And I think I should save this one also. I need to see, by the way, the level, and that must to save presets not too loud. Okay. And I saved this one as a ARP sequence. What do you call that? Line. So I will make these also down in the save, so that you can download and play around with it. So another thing, of course, is what you can do with this sequencer and this chord mode. Let me point this out. Okay, let me see. Close this window. I hope you can still follow me. Yeah, I think so. Looking good. And of course, if you may be a bit later in this stream, you always can check it afterwards in the playlist called live streams. If you like the live streams, do a thumbs up, and yeah, you also can subscribe to my channel. And as mentioned, next week I hope to have a bit more videos about Punch 2, basic videos in telling things how they work. So, but now back in the crazy arpeggiator stuff. So by the way, if you don't have anything selected here, you can see you get the waveform display. Okay, let's do now something different. I go here and then I say I'm editing here now ARP A, then it selects here, so ARP A is back in town. I do again a reset ARP A, and then I can do, so I can play this by the keyboard, as you can see, but I also can do it using the chord. So now I pick the chord and I pick 4 notes, and I'll do a 7, a 3. Let me see, 3. That one is a 7. And let's take I hit one note and you hear that it plays these notes. So it's the same as if I would have the, of course, drumming is not working. It works, but then you get a messy timing, so you better forget it then. So essentially, I'm playing here this chord, this one, but not myself. I just let the chord play it. And you see, and then I also can say 1 octave to. Yes, drumming is a delay, but of course, if you play chord and arpeggiator, that will not work. Yeah, you get some weird. So I see if I put chord off, I can play it also manually, but then with the chord, you have simply a different feel. It's still, of course, a minor, so you need to keep that in mind if you make music, that it's only minor if you hit one note. Yeah, I saved this one because that's nice for you to play around with it. Save preset as, and I would call this ARP by chord. Okay. Save preset, and of course I go to the manager. This one is playing a chord. It's polyphonic, yeah, maybe, and I do okay, so another preset. So yeah, it's, you see, you can do a lot of things with the arpeggiator and just hitting one note. And cool. Let's see if I go to the chat room. Next week we have, of course, another live stream, and maybe if you play around with Predator-2 this week, maybe you have a question. It's of course a very deep synthesizer, but from the bass, it's still very logical in its build-up. You have the 3 oscillators, you have the filter section here. Essentially, this upper section here is the audio section where the audio is generated, and then it passes on to the FX. The play mode tells how it plays, if it's an arpeggiator or single sounds. You have the XY pad, and here you have the additional pages for controlling the arpeggiator, creating waveforms. Yeah, sure, modulation wheel. Here it is, and already inside this patch. Here it's default inside the filter section, but of course you can address it to anything. So pitch band and modulation wheel. Yeah, definitely. Pitch band is already in this section here. If you go here to the envelope, LFO and pitch band, these are 3 sub pages in which you can find the pitch band, which is off in this preset. The LFOs, 4 LFOs on board, which you can address, and also 4 envelopes, free envelopes, which you can address. Then there is a modulation matrix. Even with the advanced mode, it's in terms of features, it's an insane synthesizer. Yeah, you can assign anything. It's source, you can pick here modulation wheel and assign it to many of the parameters, even to the FX. So one thing you could do, for instance, if you go here to, no, not this preset. My computer is really in the soup. It's really strange. It's kidding me. Okay, now it's there. Okay, no chord. So I bypass now. Okay, I have this sound. So okay, I'm just here. No, traditional waveform. Square. Just kidding. It's like a little, very thin sound. Oh, but I could also simply take this saw wave. So even can control, so we have now the reverb. Even the reverb we could control with an envelope. Or maybe let's try this for the fun. So this is an envelope. And I take a decay. I go to the FX1 mix at negative. Let's see. No, positive. Okay. So I'm trying to control the wet mix. Yeah, but it's not so effective with the envelopes. Let's give it another. Oh yeah, here's the envelope 1 amount. Okay, it's getting late, guys. FX1 mix. Now we hear it. No, it's not that exciting. So let's forget this one and let's go to modulation matrix, and there we can have the modulation wheel controlling. That could be maybe more interesting. Modulation wheel. FX1 mix. Then you can make some weird things with the. So if you have a beat. Okay, this is I use the modulation wheel down here, maybe you can see it. So I play these notes here. So what I find interesting is only this part. Oh no, Control Z, too much. This part. So I throw this one away, and I like this one. So I could. So sometimes you can buy. Okay, maybe I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm editing here in Cubase. So this part I played. Here it is. And now I use this as a weird thing inside the music. Okay, that last note is a bit out of the musical thought. Need to move that one a bit. So I moved it, quantize, let's see if that is better. So I'm using now the modulation, which is controlling the reverb to do weird stuff. I mean, from that point, Predator-2 is so immensely deep. Hear that? I put a bit of delay. Let's make it spacey. Maybe also nice to have the envelope one. I use it on the to give a little bit of punchiness. Pitch LFO. This is a dedicated pitch LFO. Let's see how this sounds with the other noises. So guys, yes, it's this is a nice one. I would call this one save preset. Save preset as Saw meets ref mix. Okay. I saved this one also. I think it's very nice. So use the modulation wheel to control the reverb mix. Nice, isn't it? good, guys. I hope you enjoyed it today again. I will upload the presets which are made today below, so you can try out things yourself, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And not the wheel. Yeah, it sounds like it's pitch, but I think the pitch is done by the reverb sound. That's a good question. Okay. Oh, I'm not releasing this track. This is purely for Kip Casey says, if you're finishing and releasing this track, would you leave the kick clicky or soften it a bit? I don't know. I'm not so. I have no idea what. It's a bit dancey track, but I'm not that much very well or good in having particular points to styles of music. So I would call this a kind of simply a club track, but maybe for a club this kick is not useful enough. Anyhow, thank you guys for watching, and see you soon, hopefully next week. Then we'll do another live stream and we dive again into yeah, if you like it, we can do again a session with Predator-2, play around with Predator-2. Maybe you have a question or think, okay, this is a bit complex, Rob, can you tell me a bit more? And we will talk about it. So I would say, everybody, keep well and enjoy creating music.